Hi everyone. So I'm back with a new video, and this video is about young college entrepreneurs, people who want to start from college itself rather than going for a job. So let's take a step back and talk about my own journey. So I started my company Cogno AI back in 2017, the same year as I graduated from college. In fact, I graduated in August 2017. Formally, the convocation happened at that time. And before that, we had multiple paying customers already. So let's deep dive into what does it take for a college entrepreneur to start a startup from college itself and take it to a multi-million dollar acquisition. Number one, convince your parents. Unfortunately, in India, many parents have a mindset that their kid should go for a job. So if you want to go for an entrepreneurship, uh, please spend time convincing your parents. They should be comfortable. For my case, what did I do? Basically, I had many mentors and guides from IIT Bombay, and they spoke with my parents directly. So they gave them the comfort that they are mentoring me directly. They are spending time with me in understanding my product, my vision, helping me on the technology side. So that gave my parents a lot of comfort that very good people, very capable people from IIT Bombay alumni network are helping me. So that is the first point. Second, learn to sell. This is most important because these days I see engineers who have built a brilliant product, but they don't know how to take it to the market. They don't know how to sell it. So start spending time in learning activities of business development, sales, and so on and so forth. If you are the CEO of the company, if you are the founder, you should definitely know how to convey your vision, convey your grand plan to people who are interested in buying that product. So don't build a technology, build a business. And business starts with customers, which means you need to learn the art of speaking, you need to learn the art of building presentations, demo videos, articulating your thoughts to customers clearly. And much like swimming, much like learning to write code, this can only be learned by actually doing it. Even I was sort of an introverted person when I was in college, right? Obviously, I was active on social media, but then when it came to talking to people in person, one on one, I was also not that great. But then over time, I learned it. By meeting a lot of people, I understood that what is the kind of conversation one can have with business executives, C suite, right? C suite means CXOs, CTOs, CIOs and CEOs of large financial institutions. So I did it by practice. Third is learn the art of hiring. Uh, as engineers, again, whenever a problem is thrown at us, the first reaction is how do I do it? Instead, you should learn to start thinking in a different manner, which is if a problem is thrown at me, how do I, like, who is the right person to solve this problem? So this way, your time will not become the bottleneck. So in the early days, of course, as a founder, you are supposed to do everything. I have actually cleaned the office when our office maid was not available for one of the days, right? I've done sweeping on the floor actually. And so you have to go to that level as an entrepreneur. Uh, that is obviously given. But then over time, start learning how to delegate everything. Start learning how to find people to do stuff rather than you getting into doing stuff yourself, because otherwise your time will become a bottleneck over time. Third, obviously learn to program. Uh, I'm not contradicting my own point which I just made, but yes, having a technical team member in the company as one of the founding member definitely helps a lot. Which means if you are going to customers and trying to sell them a technology product, it definitely helps a lot if you have a technical co-founder. Or if you're going to raise funds, if you're going to talk to investors, if you're not having a strong technology background person as one of your founding members, CTO, you definitely are going to have a hard time in raising funds. So definitely have a good quality technology savvy person in your team as one of the founding members. Next, learn which advice to ignore. As young founder, you will get a lot of advice from people who are, let's say, 15, 20, 30 years more experienced than you. I received a lot of advice from my customers, but then at the end of the day, it is my company. I have to decide, I have to figure out what is the right decision for me. So don't blindly listen to advice of people. Use your own understanding of the customer, of the problem statement to build the product, to build the solution. So I'll give you an example why I'm raising this point. Many people told me that, okay, these chatbots are beaten to death now. It's a commoditized market. You are more capable of doing something bigger. Yes, all of this is true. Correct. I am capable of doing something bigger. But then at the moment, I feel that whatever I'm doing, I enjoy it and I want to solve that problem for the customer. So I will remain focused on it. Don't get distracted by people giving you advice, because a lot of senior people will present themselves as domain experts, people who understand business better than you, just because you are young, because you are less experienced. So don't get swayed away. Don't just blindly start following and start believing people who you feel are experts in that domain, because domain changes, market changes, customer behavior changes, and so any advice or any experience that these people have will become outdated very rapidly in this today's market, which is changing very fast. So please be cautious when you listen to advice from people. Next, focus on paying customers rather than investors. So many young founders I see, they hear news of some startup raising $5 million Series A round or seed round even today. We are seeing this kind of like $10 million seed round. So see, while you may read the news and feel very inferior that what are you doing with your life, you should also chase investors. But I think that's not the right approach. Media will only show you the end outcome. The news articles that you read, they will only show you the end outcome where someone raised $10 million series around. But then I'm sure there has been a 10-year effort gone behind that business. So don't get swayed away by that. Focus on what is important for your customers and build for that. Don't waste time reading articles and then feeling inferior. I mean, it's absolutely pointless activity. If you chase your customers, your investors will come to you. They will start chasing you, because paying customers is the biggest asset in any business. Remember, your advisors will ask for equity, which in turn is asking for money. Your investors will ask for equity, which in turn is again asking for money. Your employees will ask for salary and ESOPs, which is again asking for money. Customers are the only one who will give you money without asking for it back. And obviously in return, they want your product, they want your services, they don't want money in return. So make sure that you as the founder is spending sufficient time with your customers so that they invest in your business by buying your product. I think they are the best investors to chase. Lastly, think of business like an overall puzzle, which means, let's say you have to build a business in which there are multiple components. One component is an investor who is putting capital to help you start the business. Another component is your employees or your team members. They will invest their time. Third component is your mentors and advisors. They will invest their further time in guiding you, advising you. And fourth component is customer. So start looking at business in this manner where all of these components are coming together. And your job as a founder is to build this puzzle, identify these components and assemble it together. So this way of starting, this way of thinking about your business, it will help you. It will help you get a perspective of how business really works. So don't chase any individual component. Of course, customer is the most important component in this whole game, but the right balance of all these components coming together is the right manner to solve this puzzle of entrepreneurship. So all the best, and please do reach out and do share your thoughts and comments in the comment section below.